Steven, do you think birds are real?
Yes and no.
Explain yourself.
Well, I think some birds can be robots that are planted by the government
Ooh.
to just overwatch us at all
Any
times.
any in particular?
Red-breasted swallows.
I was going to say blue-footed boobies.
Blue-footed
What-
boobies? There's such thing as blue-footed boobies?
Yeah, it's also a great restaurant in Black Hawk.
Oh, hell yeah.
Black Hawk. Black Hawk.
Yeah, Black Hawk. Well,
Yes.
you know what? Nevertheless, it's good to be doing a show with you, Chris.
Thank you. I'm not sure I get the reference.
You don't get it?
No.
It's been 26 years since Jim Rome called Jim Everett Chris.
Is that today?
26 years today, yeah.
That's one of my
I think I got the years
favorite-
right.
That's one of my favorite all-time things. Does not make Jim Rome look good calling Jim Everett Chris Everett, the female
No.
tennis player. I just love the fact that he beat his ass on live television. It's
Yeah.
one of my favorite moments.
Yeah, he got called out, but at the same time, it's kind of like the Will Smith and Chris Rock thing, where it's like, hey, you can't take a joke, but also he's not a comedian, so understandable.
That was different. He was calling him out by saying that, I mean, at the time, it was like 94, he was saying like, "Oh, you're a woman." Ugh. And I don't think Jim Rome was like, "Oh, someone arrest that man." Because honestly, because Jim Everett was in the right to beat his ass.
Right.
Anyway, welcome everybody to Just Your Opinion, man. Stephen Langford, Derek Papa. I'm referring to the sign that had me in stitches during the NCAA championship between UNC and Kansas. Did you know about this thing? That there's a internet phenomenon where people are trying to convince people that birds aren't real?
I'll believe anything with an internet phenomenon. Birds aren't real? The hell we talking about?
Apparently, just like to start like some shit, somebody online was like, "Yeah, birds aren't real," and it's like spread, and someone had that sign behind them at the behind Charles Barkley and Kenny Smith at the NCAA tournament.
Right. Birds have always
This-
terrified me, though.
Birds are weird. Birds are definitely weird. Actually, that was my second favorite sign. The first favorite sign was somebody had the sign "Kansas is ugly and smelly," and that was a good sign too. That made me laugh as well.
Hey, you're not wrong. You're not wrong. I don't. Is North Carolina any better though?
Well, they blew a 25-point lead or 15-point lead.
Yes, but I'm talking about smell-wise. Have you ever been to North
Smelly?
Carolina and smelt it?
Can't say I have.
Yeah, it'd be very unfortunate if like Milpitas in California. Shout out to Milpitas. Like, it smells like shit. So, because of the big Milpitas dump. So,
Yeah.
if you go to, there was a Twitter page called Milpitas Stinks. So if if Milpitas High School, for example, was playing, and don't kill me, Vita Vea, he went over there. He went to that high school. But if they were playing some other high school on
that guy
national
could like
TV,
stuff you in a sack and just beat
if
the
they were
crap out of
playing,
you.
if they were playing my high school on national TV, I'd hold up a sign: Milpitas Stinks.
Which high school did you go to? The same one as Robert Turbin?
Yes, Irvington.
Irvington.
Uh-huh.
So, Steven, just real quick, don't want to like recap the whole national championship game. It was fun. Fun game. Did you make some money with Kansas winning?
No.
What? I thought that was the bet.
No, it was Villanova. I needed Villanova to beat Kansas.
Oh, dude, that's not what you said on the goddamn thing.
Really? Did I say Kansas?
I thought you said Kansas.
Oof. No, I meant Villanova.
Well, shit, my text to you doesn't make any sense now.
Which one?
I sent a text in our group text just being like, well, our friend Daniel Ogden's a huge Villanova fan. So I was like, sorry, Ogden, that your team won, but drinks are on Steven this weekend. And apparently not now.
Damn. Well, yeah, they're definitely not on me.
Shit.
No way. No
Shit.
chance. No way. No how.
Well, that's just very disappointing.
Drinks are on you, bro.
Why?
Because you're back in the Bay Area, and that's the rule. When you're coming from another place, it's your job to pay for the drinks. Everyone knows that.
Luckily, I have an ace in the hole. John Curley always pays for drinks, so thank
This
God
is
for that.
true. Yeah, this is true. Get ready for all the Bud Lights. All
Oh
of them.
yeah, 27 last time I remember. So you didn't get the Skrilla, but you'll have a good time this weekend because we're both going to opening day. I'll be at Giants opening day. I feel weird about it, but the A's are going to be in Philly, so I'll see what happens with their game. Did that come through my little virus threat protection thing popping up?
What are you talking about?
Just something came up on my computer. I want to know if the audience heard it. Anyway,
No, it did not.
regardless. Okay.
You're all good.
Focusing now.
Yep.
So we have a lot to discuss, Steven.
Yes.
But let's start with baseball, my friend, because opening day, we didn't know if it was going to happen or not, and thank God it is. Got a little preview with John Morosi a couple weeks ago. And now it's here on Friday, and we're going to have, I don't even know who the Giants playing on opening day.
Marlins.
Marlins, that's weird.
Yeah.
And the A's will be in Philadelphia, which, you know, is where they originated from. That's also a weird thing just to start in interleague play.
Yeah, very odd.
But we're excited for some baseball. I haven't been to a baseball game. You know, actually, I went 3 times last year. I went to Dodger games, but I haven't been to a Giants game or an A's game in quite some time. So I'm excited about it.
It's going to be beautiful. It's going to be a beautiful place, man. Oracle Park is awesome. I can't wait. Going to get there early, probably before Jesse. I'm going straight from work, and I'm just going to sit in the seat, have a Sheboygan, have a beer, and boom. Very excited about it.
No crab sandwich?
No, they're a little too expensive for my taste.
Yeah, what are they, like $15?
No, they're 20 at least.
Yeah.
I'm not into a crab sandwich that costs $20 that I could eat in 20 seconds. Like I smashed through that. I smashed through that thing, you know. I need a little length.
Savory. Oh, okay. Well, yeah, sure.
More length than girth, you know what I'm saying?
Oh, I mean, I don't know what you're saying, but I guess, you know, I'll sympathize with you.
Talking Sheboygans.
Oh, gotcha. Okay. So let's just get right into it, Steven, with Bay Area baseball. We'll get to our picks of who we think is going to win every division and World Series and all that stuff. But just as far as the teams that you and I care about, we're both wearing our caps, and I feel very weird wearing this baseball cap because it's a cool-looking cap. It's sweet as hell. But honestly, I'm kind of conflicted wearing it because I understand that the A's do business a certain way, and it's infuriating. But I don't think I've ever seen something quite like Sean Manaea being traded, and then it was almost like Coffee Black, where he was playing for the San Antonio Spurs and then at halftime switched and played for the Flint Tropics.
Yeah.
Where Sean Manaea, the day of the trade, is reunited with Bob Melvin, and he's on the mound for the Padres against the A's in his green glove, and it was just fucking weird. And then the A's are also doing this weird thing where they're having a celebration for Bay Area baseball with the Giants at the Oracle Plaza. And this is something that is just weird to me, where the A's have never came together with the Giants unless it was for, you know, the Bay Bridge Trophy, whatever that monstrosity is. And the Giants are even promoting it. It's just the A's like, yeah, we're teaming up with the Giants to have a nice little Bay Area baseball thing, and A's fans are pissed. So I don't know how to feel about this season, Steven. I like that Steven Vogt's back. It's nice. But honestly, like, I'm expecting the A's to be the worst team in baseball. And I'm expecting, sadly, for the fans to be angry as hell and not show up to the games. Because it's been bad before. Obviously, you and I have gone many A's games, and we've always said there's more seagulls than people. But this might be a record for lows.
Yeah, maybe. I don't want to count them out and say they're going to be the worst team in baseball. I mean, you got to have a little more faith.
$33 million payroll, the same amount they had in 1989 when they won the World Series, and that was the highest back then.
Yeah, no, it's been the same since 1991. And then you go down the list of players in the NBA that are making that much, players in baseball that are making that much per year. You got quite a few of them. It's not. I mean, you know, you look at the Warriors starting lineup, but you know, Steph, Clay, and Wiggins are all making more than the A's payroll.
40.
But the Sean Manaea thing, okay, he's gone. Why is everyone so sad about that? You are sad about a 3.9 ERA pitcher who blew the wild card chance that you had against the Tampa Bay Rays back at home when you had a 97 win season. He had one good year back in 2018 or 2019, whatever it was. So everyone's all sad about Sean Manaea to see him go. Bye-bye. I get it. There's a nostalgia feeling to it and whatever, but it's Sean Manaea. Everyone was up in arms about Sean Manaea. I never thought he was that good anyway. I thought he was okay. Last year, he was actually pretty good in terms of his strikeout to walk ratio, but he would still give up runs. So I wouldn't be too sad about it. So I'm going to be backing up the organization here at every turn that I can get. But no,
Oh,
I get it.
you A's lover. You
I
you
know.
you 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 always side with the brass.
No, I'm trying to reason with it here. I understand why A's fans are pissed, and rightfully so. I mean, but still, you're getting up in arms about a 210 hitter in Matt Chapman who went to the Blue Jays, and then
Matt Chapman's a good player. Come on.
he's a good player, but his numbers stink. And then you're up in arms about Sean Manaea, who's also a good player, but the numbers stink and the numbers don't lie.
Well,
They're
it's the
not
same thing. Okay, like so. But these were pieces. Like,
sure.
isn't it just like it's the same thing with trading away Amari Cooper and Khalil Mack? Like, you had stars, you had
Right.
pieces that you could build around, and you just choose not to create a team around it.
Yeah, no, I get it. I get it, and it's just in. I will say this: it is proof that just ownership does not care. Like they
No.
do not care about the fans. They are. It is kind of like the Raiders situation too. Not just
It's
the
worse.
trading of not just trading the Amari Cooper and Khalil Mack away, but also it seems like they just don't care about their city. Doesn't care about where they're playing right now. They are just focused on 3-4 years from now and beyond, because that's really what they're trying to do at this point. But I understand it, and I get where you're coming from, but I wouldn't write them off as like the worst team in baseball just yet. Although, yeah, the optics, it's not looking too good. Not looking too good right now.
And I think it's kind of cute that every, talking head on ESPN, whether it's Bill Plaschke or Adam Shine, whatever network he's on, and Giants fans too, just be like, "Oh God, how can you support this team?" And I question it. I question it all the time, but you don't know it until you experienced it. So I get everyone like saying like, "Yeah, tell Fisher to sell the team." He's not selling the team. This is just what they fucking do. And yes, if John Morosi is right that this is not happening for another 2 seasons, it's going to be a long 2 seasons, and it's going to be bad. So I guess that answers my question of my expectations for the A's this year. Steven, what are your expectations for the Giants?
Not very high. The 12 playoff spots, that makes me, kind of looking forward to it. I think I think they can sneak their way into a playoff spot, maybe into the wild card. I don't see them winning the National League West. 85. I think that the line that Vegas set, I believe it's 85.5 wins with the roster that they're throwing out there. I saw Sean Estes the other day on NBC Sports. He said it was a disrespect to the Giants in their 107 win season. I think, depending on how things go, I think 85 wins, 86 wins, I'd consider that. I mean, if you're over 500, to me, that's a success. Like for a baseball season, it's very hard to go over. I mean, let alone go to win 107 games. That's damn near impossible. I don't know if they're going to do that again. I mean, they set the franchise record, and it took however long in order for them to do that. Since the early 90s for them to do that. So at least I think so. I could be wrong on that, but I believe it took since the early 90s to set the franchise record. So I see it being a good season, a manageable season, and that's much more than I could say going into last year. Last year, I wasn't looking forward to it at all, even though their lineup had showed some promise. I don't know. This year, I'm just looking forward to watching some baseball, man. And I really don't know where the power is going to come from in the lineup. Lamont Wade and Evan Longoria, I'm not feeling good about those 2 injuries, because the words reevaluated are used with Lamont Wade. And when you're being reevaluated for inflammation in your knee, like, how does inflammation even happen in your knee other than because of age? Like, I don't even know. I'm not a doctor. I don't understand that. So that scares me that he's being reevaluated. Then Evan Longoria already starting out on the IL. He's not going to be back for, at least a month, I think. So, I'm looking forward to Joey Bart. That's what I'm looking forward to. I'm looking forward to watching Logan Webb. I actually think their starting rotation and their bullpen are going to be very good, and they're going to be what saves them in games this year, as opposed to the lineup as years previous. So I'm looking forward to it.
Well, let's get right into it, my man. Let's pick our division winners, and let's start with the AL. I'll let you go first, sir. Who you see winning the AL East, the AL Central, and the AL West?
Well, the AL East, and I hate to say it, I would want to go with conventional choice would be the Yankees, just because they're the Yankees. But I'm going to take the Tampa Bay Rays again, man. I haven't seen them make any sort of offseason moves, but they got something working over there where their starters and that starting lineup, even though they don't have any high-priced players, they always manage to get it done within the AL East. So with there, I'm going to take the Tampa Bay Rays. Within the Central. Man, it all hinges upon this dude staying healthy. I think the Twins can be back up there,
No,
but
don't you do it again. Don't you do it again.
no, but it's going to be the White Sox leading the
Yeah.
Central. There's absolutely no doubt in my mind that they're going to lead the Central. And then within the West, it's a toss-up, man. It's actually tough this year. The Angels, Shohei Ohtani, Mike Trout, Noah Syndergaard, they got a lot of good players. The Mariners have beefed up their offense. The Astros are going to be without Carlos Correa, who was awesome, and they don't have much pitching. So I'm actually going to go out on a limb. I'm going to take the second place team from last year. I'm going to take the Seattle Mariners to win the AL West this year. I think they've done enough to beef up their lineup. Plus, they got the young Julio Rodriguez, who was just called up to their team, who was like basically the Giants, who's like the Mariners version of Marco Luciano from the Giants. So there you go. I got the Mariners winning the West. I got the White Sox winning the Central, and I got the Rays winning the East yet again.
I like those picks. I like those picks. Very interessante. I'm going to go in the AL East just because I like what they've done, and they also got 2 A's on the team. I'm going with the Toronto Blue Jays to win the AL East. I like a lot. I like what they've done.
Could be.
And if the A's suck, they're going to be my second team this year that I watch out of market games with. So I'm going to watch a lot of Toronto Blue Jays games. I'm picking the Toronto Blue Jays to win the AL East. In the AL Central, I can't go against Tony La Russa. I love the guy, and I know everybody hates him because he's old and everybody's trying to cancel him, but I love the guy. I love Tony La Russa. He's sticking around. The White Sox win the AL Central.
What is that, your most cancelable baseball manager take?
Absolutely. Everyone just wants this guy to be gone because he's old, and he wants people to follow the rules of baseball. And it's fucking Tony La Russa. He does great things for ARF, so everybody just needs to respect him.
Okay. I'm not going to respond to that and keep going.
Well, hold on. Why does everybody hate Tony?
Because he's a jerk.
He's not a jerk.
He got a DUI and said, "Hey, don't give it to me. I'm Tony fucking La Russa." Like, what?
And Reese Witherspoon didn't do the exact same thing?
I don't know. I don't care for Reese. We're not talking about Reese Witherspoon. I'm talking about Tony La Russa right now.
Speaking of which, what was that joke that Whitley told the other day?
Ugh.
Witherspoon? No, with a knife.
Yeah.
Pretty good.
Yeah. She couldn't help but laugh and get out of the joke. Or try to, and couldn't get the joke out. Excuse me.
Tony La Russa is not a jerk.
Kind of.
He's just old school.
Yeah. Kind of a jerk.
Well,
it's okay.
I've encountered him. He's not the most pleasant man, but he's knows how to manage baseball games.
I encountered him at a Costco.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it was a book signing. It was at a Livermore Costco. Lined up to meet him. He was nice enough.
Did he say "fuck off, kid"? I'm not signing your book.
No, I was with my mom.
Kareem Abdul-Jabbar.
Yeah. Winning time.
Yeah. And I'm going to take the Astros in the AL West. I just think that despite the fact they don't have Carlos Correa, I still think they're pretty loaded. So I'm taking the Astros.
And they do have Justin Verlander coming back. I do wonder what's going to happen there, but they don't really have a lot of pitching, man. And they got something in the bullpen. I guess they got Ryan Presley closing games, but I don't know. Something about it. I think the Mariners are going to take that top spot this year.
I like that pick a lot. Who do you have? So this is the first year we're going to have 3 wild cards. So I guess I didn't know this until like a week ago. So the top 2 seeds will get a bye, and then the 3rd seed will play the 6th seed. The 4 and 5 will play each other, and then we go into the divisional round.
Right.
And that's a full. Actually, it's the best of 3, right? That for that first series.
Yes, for the wild card series. Yeah, it's
Got
best of 3. Yeah.
Okay, so who do you have as your 3 AL wild cards?
So this is a tough one. So I want to choose like one from each division, but you're gonna get. I think you're going to get 2 from each from at least one of these divisions, which is a toss up for me because I want to choose the AL East, but again, the American League West, it all hinges upon the Angels remaining healthy. But I think the top wild card spot, though, is going to go to the Blue Jays. I actually like your pick there. I think the top wild card spot is going to go to the Blue Jays. I think the second wild card spot is going to go to the Angels. I think the Angels are going to do it there. And then the third wild card spot going to go to the Astros. I actually have the Angels beating the Astros in the American League. and then they're
All
not
right.
going to have anybody from the American League Central, whether it's the Guardians, Tigers, Twins, Royals, whoever it is. That's who I think is going to be making it up there in the American League. Plus, you have to play the A's and the Rangers as much as you can in the West, so you're going to just stack up wins there.
There you go. And yes, the Angels will be better than the A's this year for the first time in a while. But Steven, I'm going to pick all three teams from the AL East. I think it's going to be the Yankees, the Red Sox, and the Devil Rays, all as your wild card teams.
The Devil Rays.
Oh yeah. Well, they don't call them the Devil Rays anymore.
No, they're just the Rays. They haven't been the Devil Rays for a little while.
Damn, I'm so not with it. I think Tony La Russa is cool, and I put Devil on top of Rays.
It's been a solid. Man, what has it been? Like 15 years since they've been called the Devil Rays?
I still call the Charlotte NBA team the Bobcats, so it's all good.
Yes, the Bobcats, the old Bobcats, and the Oklahoma City Supersonics, and
there you go.
Yeah, the New Orleans Hornets, I guess. Whatever.
Yeah, they were once upon a time. Moving on to the other league, the National League. Steven, same thing. East, Central, West. Who you got?
So for the National League East, I think the defending champs, the Braves, are going to take that top spot yet again. For the National League Central, this is an interesting one. I really don't know who to go with in the National League Central, to be honest. I want to choose the Brewers, and I'm going to choose the Brewers because, as far as I know, I don't think they lost any of their starting pitching that they had last year that made them oh so dangerous. They got the airbender, their closer. They got a good bullpen. So I'm liking the Brewers to take the NL East. And then the National League West, I'm going to take the Padres.
No, you're not.
Yeah.
No, you're not.
Yeah. I'm not going to take that other team.
You are just so bitter.
Yeah, no, I'm going to take the Dodgers.
I figured.
Yeah, they're going to be the NL West. Yeah.
I'm taking in the NL East. While I do think that the Atlanta Braves are still going to be a good team, I kind of like what the Mets have done. And even though they're going to have DeGrom gone for quite a bit of time, I still think they could get some nice wins with Scherzer. So I'm going to go with the New York Mets, the Metropolitans. Come right up and eat the Mets. The Mets win the NL East. And then in the Central, by default, I'm going to take the Brewers. And then, NL West, I'm taking the Dodgers. It's just ridiculous how much talent they have on that team. Who are your wild cards?
The wild cards, actually, you took mine. I think the Mets are going to be the top wild card team. I think they're going to be really good this year. That lineup is stacked. They're getting Robinson Cano back, who they were without for a majority of the season. And Robinson Cano, despite all his flaws, I think he's still a damn good baseball player.
Damn good.
So they're adding him, Marte, obviously. I don't think Canna is going to make much of a big difference. Canna's another A's player who A's fans all
more A's guys on good teams.
But it's like all of you yearn for Mark Canna. It's like, my God. All right.
I'll be damned if you say a bad thing about Mark Canna. Actually, it's whatever. I could care less. So wait, it's Mark Canna, Starling Marte, and Chris Bassett on the Mets.
Yes, correct.
So I'll have the Mets and I'll have the Blue Jays to root for this year.
Correct. But I don't think they're winning the division because it's also the Mets. But with 12 playoff spots, I think they could make the wild card there. So that'd be my number one wild card team. My number two would be the Padres. I really think the Padres are gonna come back this year, even though Fernando Tatis is out for a few months. That's only like less than half the season. So I think Tatis is gonna come back, be really good. The starting pitching is going to be there. They still have a very good lineup outside of it. I think the Padres are going to start winning some games. Plus, the biggest miss for the A's, in my opinion, was Bob Melvin. I think Bob Melvin's a fantastic manager, and I think that who they had before, Chase Tingler, like he didn't connect with that team.
The Tingle Man.
Ever since that one game against the Rangers, where Tatis pimped the home run. I think he hit like a grand slam when they were already up by double digits or something. And Jace Tingler called him out and made Tatis apologize.
Good.
They're not going to
old-fashioned baseball like Tony La Russa wants. Arf.
There you go. But you know what? This is a toss-up, man, because I think the Phillies can be really good. I think the Cardinals, they're always really good. And then I think the Giants can be really good. So this is actually, when I was looking at this before we came on, I was wondering, who am I going to pick between these three? I want to. Do we care about being right? I'm going to go Giants. Giants are taking that third wild card spot.
Of course. I
God.
I'm not thinking. Stick with it, Steven. Stick with it.
All right. Yeah. No. The Phillies and the Cardinals aren't gonna make the playoffs.
Okay. I don't think the Giants are making the playoffs this year because, as we know, it's always wait. Is it an even year this year? Yeah, it is.
It's a safe bet.
So wait, was it the odd years they don't do anything, or
no? It's the odd years they're not supposed to do anything. That even year bull crap. That's all BS. It just so happened that it went on even years. It's been since 2016, 2018, and 2020. They didn't do anything. So
regardless, I think that that stuff is all bullshit.
Even year magic is gone.
Yeah. I just think that it's hard to replicate what they did a season ago, even though it was fantastic. But I just don't. I think they're going to crash back to reality a little bit. So I don't have the Giants making the playoffs this year. Sorry.
Yeah. Well, and also they're playing within the West too. I mean, they're going to be crushing on the Diamondbacks and the Rockies, sure, but the Dodgers and the Padres not easy to play. It's going to be tough to make the playoffs this year within the National League.
And they They had an amazing record against the Rockies and D-backs last year, right?
Correct.
It's going to be. I mean, anytime you have dominance against your division, it's hard to do that year in, year out. So I don't think the Giants make the playoffs this year. I got the Padres making the playoffs as a wild card.
Mm-hmm.
I got the Atlanta Braves. They are the defending champs. I believe that they'll make the playoffs. And then I'm with you, Steven. It's a toss-up between the Cardinals and Phillies. And I got to think eventually that Bryce Harper's got to make the playoffs with the Phillies.
Yeah, I mean, they added Nick Castellanos. I actually didn't look.
You love that guy.
I didn't. Yeah, he's freaking awesome, man, and especially right now. But I mean, like this year, this is when he's going to thrive. I don't know what it's going to be like, in his third year on the new contract or whatever, on this new deal that he has. I think he signed a 5-year deal with them. But as far as their pitching, I don't really know what to expect from the Phillies staff. Let me take a look. I actually didn't look at their starting. I was so focused on the lineup, I didn't even take a look at their starting staff.
Yeah, just to give an answer, I think eventually that the Phillies have to make the playoffs with Bryce Harper since he was the biggest free agent 3 seasons ago.
Mm-hmm.
But in the end, I think the Cardinals are a better all-around team, so I am taking the Cardinals to be that final wild card.
Yeah, let me take a look here. Where is their rotation?
Pitching?
Yeah, Zach Wheeler, Aaron Nola, who's pretty good, but other than that, I don't know how to pronounce this. I guess it's Ronher Suarez, Zach Eflin, Kyle Gibson, who's
Zach Efron?
Zach Eflin, Bailey Falter, and Nick Nelson. So their starting rotation isn't going to be very good. Their lineup is going to have to get them out of a lot of games this year if you want the Phillies to be good. I'm feeling better about my pick now.
All right.
Yeah.
And when it's all said and done, who you got in the World Series? Who's winning?
God, that's a loaded question. I don't know how it's going to happen, and I should have mapped it out as to the playoffs and what to expect. I actually got to do that later tonight so I could do it on tomorrow's show and then just jumble all the words around. But in the National League, I think if they stay healthy, because you got to remember they won it without Ronald Acuna. I think the Braves can make the World Series again and represent the National League. I just don't think the Dodgers are going to do it. And you know why it's going to happen? Because Craig Kimbrell is not the same guy. I actually am feeling a lot better about him as the closer for their team as opposed to Kenley Jansen. And he is not going to be looking good toward the end of the year. I'll have it being Braves, Dodgers in the NLCS, but I think the Braves are going to come out on top with that one. And with the American League, this one's a toss-up, man. Here's what I want. I want the White Sox in the World Series. I think Braves. What?
You want Tony La Russa winning a World Series?
I'm totally fine with that if that happens because I like a lot of that team.
Oh God, they're going to cancel him the next day.
But I love the White Sox.
Have that old man winning.
I think it'd be a very fun World Series if you put the Braves together with the White Sox. Luis Robert. Actually, you know what? No, Luis Robert. That's a tease. Along with Jose Abreu and Yoan Moncada, whoever else they got on that team right now. Yasmani Grandal, who I think had a down year last year. I think he can have a bounce-back season. Their catcher. They got a lot of pieces, man. They're a fun team. I mean, it's just a question of their starting rotation and what they're going to do because that's really the I guess, the weakest point of their roster, even though they got Lucas Giolito as their starter. But anyway, I think Braves and White Sox are going to do it. And I think the White Sox are going to come out on top this year. I think this is Chicago's year.
I think that, yes, the Dodgers are annoying and they spend a lot of money and they get every player and their roster's completely loaded. And I know Dave Roberts went on a big limb to say they're going to win the World Series, but that's not really of course, they're going to think that and they should. They have all the star power in the world on their roster. I think it's going to be pretty damn hard for them to lose this season. So I am taking the Dodgers to win the National League pennant. And I think it's going to be a really blue World Series, dabu-dee-dabu-die. I think the Toronto Blue Jays will be your American League champions. And in the end, the Dodgers do beat the Blue Jays of the World Series.
That'd be a fun series too, man.
It would
the Blue Jays, they shouldn't be slept on. They'll be a lot of fun. I hope they go deep into the playoffs. Like if you had a White Sox Blue Jays ALCS, totally fine with that. Like I think that'd be a lot of fun.
That would be fun.
A lot of fun to watch.
Yeah. Real quick, when you go to the ballpark, are you bringing your own peanuts or do you buy some at the stands?
I don't eat peanuts at a ballpark. This isn't God, you really are old school. Like I think we need to update We need to update the 7th inning stretch. It's like, buy me some peanuts and Cracker Jacks. Who the hell eats peanuts and Cracker Jacks at a baseball game anymore?
Jacob Violante does. He brings his own peanuts too.
Jacob also wears like hats from the 60s. They're really cool. Vintage hats that Jacob
they're
always
bitching.
has.
They're bitching hats.
Yeah, they're really cool. He looks like a pirate, but
Steve the pirate?
Yeah, Jacob the pirate. But I don't know, man. I don't really. I do bring my own food. Bring my own seeds for sure. Bring my own sunflower seeds. I don't really know what. I don't really bring much else.
Do you still bring a mitt?
No, but I should because
I never do. I always forget.
You know what? I'll feel free to share this now. I feel okay with it. I was at the A's and Giants game last year.
Yeah.
And I was sitting in left field with my mom. And right next to the left field foul pole, to the left of it.
Don't tell me you pushed your mom out of the way to get a foul ball.
Oh, no, much worse.
Okay,
much worse. It was heading straight.
You get my attention now.
I haven't told anybody this. This is like, I really feel like in my soul, this is like the worst thing that I've ever done. And well, not really. It didn't end up it didn't end up how I thought it would. But I spent the entire game nervous because this is the type of thing that would have ended up like, throughout social media if it would have got caught on TV.
Okay.
Luckily it didn't. I went on YouTube. I have my YouTube TV. I have like
Isn't that sad now?
I have the app, right? And I have the replay on because I record every game. So I went back to watch the replay and I rewound it just to make sure like they didn't see what I did. There's a foul ball coming right to me. Like it's about like it's coming to my chest. Like there's no, it's mine. No one else. It's no one else's. No one's gonna put my hand in front of their hand in front of my face. I'm waiting for it, and I dodge it. Behind me is a child, like a child that can't see the ball. And the dude next to the child, thank God for this man, put his hand in front of the child and blocked it with his palm. We avoided it, but I was sitting there in shame, just shrouded in shame. Like I avoided it completely because that thing was moving. And when it came, I didn't really think. I didn't react. I just, I didn't want to put my full body in front of it. So I tried to do the thing where I put my body out the way and catch it with my hands. But I was way too late with that. So it looked like I just swerved out the way. And nothing came of it. And the guy, I think did everything in his power to not yell at me. He was making a joke out of it. He's like, you just moved out the way. But he was kind of being passive aggressive about it.
Yeah.
So, that happened. So I'm going to bring a glove from it. Because if I had a glove, I would have caught it. But I was terrified. It was moving. I mean, the thing was hit. It would have been a home run if it was fair.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to come up with all sorts of excuses here. But yeah, I moved out of the way of the ball because I was too afraid of it hitting it right into my chest because of me missing it. Because that thing, it was hit really hard.
Well, not all of us could be Roxy Bernstein just catching, pop-ups barehanded into the broadcast booth. You remember that?
Yeah. Oh my God, I remember that.
Here comes a fly ball, and I caught it.
But I've
Um,
I've been able to.
Where's the kid? Ugh.
I've been able to sit in front of foul balls before when I'm sitting like behind, not
Yeah.
behind home plate, but in like second deck behind. It's a little different when there's a foul ball that's hit behind the batter.
Yeah.
This one was hit full speed, would have been a home run, probably 100 miles an hour off the bat. Like I almost ended a child's life.
That, Steven, I commend you
Involuntarily.
for being honest and telling that story. It's not as bad. What would have been worse is if you picked up the child to use as a shield and been like, "Oh, ball, get out of the way."
For sure. I don't feel as bad like telling that story. I remember my mom was really pissed at me because
What'd she say?
I was well, not because she didn't even see it. Like she didn't even notice it. She was actually getting out of the way of the ball too. She was trying to get out of the way of
Do it in her voice. Come on.
So I was basically like, "Mom, do you see what just happened?" And then I'm like, "I almost killed that baby." She's like, "Steven, nothing happened. Shut up." Dude, terrifying.
Oh, I love Jenny. Good,
Yeah.
good for Jenny. She's always gonna stick up for you.
But you know what? In the end, dude, like nothing happened. The guy's hand was okay. He blocked the ball. Someone got
Yeah.
it. Someone was a lucky fan, and really, I think they were the only ones to see it. But because no one was like pointing at me, going, "Oh, this guy." But I couldn't. I never wanted to get out of the stadium faster, even though there was an A's Giants game going on.
Well, here's the thing. Well, you're completely right, because I hate the fact now that we live in a society where if you did that, and it's not the most noble thing to do, but at the same time, if it was caught on TV, that would have been on Sports Center, that would have been, all over social media, and you become the asshole. So thank God you avoided that. But isn't it insane that, like, my little brother, Nick, my dad's son, he when we go to baseball games, he's always deathly afraid of the ball coming in our direction, because
Yeah.
you got to catch it. If you don't catch it, you're made fun of, and you get put on the Jumbotron, and it's on social media, and it's on fucking Sports Center, and everybody makes fun of it. So you got to catch it. Isn't it crazy that's like the only game where, like basketball, every once in a while, a ball will come hit a fan in the face, and you got to throw it back on the court. Football, you avoid it altogether. Isn't it crazy how in baseball you have to be a part of the game? If you're not on your toes, you could get just wiped the fuck out like that baby.
Yeah. Or like Drew Barrymore and Fever Pitch, that kind of thing.
Never saw it.
So I feel okay with doing it now, and I'm not proud of it, especially considering baseball is like the sport that I was best at, and I should have caught that ball. Like it was coming right for me. Nothing happened though, but I was so nervous that day. Like myself, I'm that type of guy. I get nervous over the little things. I overthink everything, and I'm kind of insecure. So when I'm just sitting there, man, we had like 4 innings to go, I think, and I was just like, please God, get me out of this game. Now the Giants were winning. I was happy about that, but
yeah.
man.
Yeah, could you imagine if that was caught on, tape, and the next morning Joe Fortenbaugh's like, "All right, so nice guy Steven, explain yourself, you asshole."
Yeah, exactly. Like going on radio, being the guy on radio. It's one thing.
I want to apologize.
It's one thing if you're a person who, is just, I mean, I'm not saying I'm like famous, but I am involved within sports in the Bay Area. Like if you see that, like, oh, that's the guy. Ratings would have been up, but that's the guy. Like,
yeah, it's
terrifying, man. Terrifying. I'll never forget it.
Then the nickname Dickbag Steven would have been appropriate.
Yeah, for sure. Caught one from. Have you ever gotten a ball before?
No, never.
I almost caught one from Angel Pagan.
Ooh.
Like I said, it was in the second deck, like behind home plate.
You mean on Hill?
Yeah, I botched it. I just dropped it, which was very unfortunate. The thing was, even so, the thing was like, I actually think we were kind of close. The thing was moving. But the other time, the only time I got a ball, it wasn't, it was on a foul pop up. It was a grounder to the guy, to one of what the Giants would call the ball dudes. But to the guy that's, it was on an A's game, and it was the guy who was sitting next to third base. We had some friends who had season tickets in the second row, and in the second row along the third base side. So we got him. We're sitting there, and Jason Kendall hits a nice little grounder pulls a nice little grounder to the guy that's sitting in the chair with the helmet, dressed in the jersey and everything. Picks it up with his glove, tosses it to me. It was awesome.
Speaking of Dickbag Steven, your other nickname, you're nice guy Steven, you're Dickbag Steven. I came up with a new nickname for you.
What's that?
In that same text where I thought that you won your March Madness bracket and thought you were going to give drinks to all of us this weekend, I came up with the nickname Stevie Dicks. Instead of Stevie Nicks, you're Stevie Dicks. Shortened for Dickbag Steven, Stevie Dicks. Stevie Dicks. You like that? Huh? It's going to stick.
No, I don't.
Well, you better get used to it because I'm bringing it up this weekend and everybody's going to start calling you it.
No, thanks. I don't like
Just your opinion, man, with Depop and Stevie Dicks.
That's wrong on a variety of levels.
Stevie Dicks. Let's move on. I just want you to embrace this.
I hate you.
No, you don't. But maybe you do, actually. All right. So the Warriors and Lakers are going to be
Whoa. Aren't we supposed to make our MVP picks? You jerk.
Oh, I'm sorry. You know what? I don't have that prepared. If you want to do yours, go for it.
I don't really have any either. I just want Luis Robert to win the American League MVP from the White Sox. Luis Robert's awesome. I think that'd be great.
And AL Coach of the Year?
Oh, I don't know about Coach of the Year, man. Coach of the Year is going to come
Manager
of the Year. It's either going to come from, the team that's at the top spot, which it could be Tony La Russa. Kevin Cash is always one.
They won't give it to him.
I know. It's always one for the Rays or something. I don't know who's going to be Manager of the Year. I don't care about that award.
Who manages the Blue Jays?
Oh, what's his name? Charlie Montoya is his name.
Ooh,
yeah.
I like that name.
Yeah.
Charlie Montoya, you killed my family.
Yeah. You killed my team. Prepare to die. Yeah, the six-figure man and all that. I just want Luis Robert to win the American League MVP. I just think he's awesome. Vladdy Guerrero Jr., I wouldn't be mad at that one either. But when we're talking about
that's a good one.
When we're talking about the National League, though, I don't know, man. I don't know who's going to win that one.
Can they give it to somebody that just doesn't get a bunch of stats and actually plays on a good team?
You know who I could see? You know who I could see winning it? Funnily enough, Matt Olson.
Yeah.
Matt Olson could very well win the National League MVP. Now that he's off the A's, no offense, but the A's just didn't get the notoriety. Unfortunately, it's just how it was.
I could see that. I could see that too. Yeah, I just don't want it to go to Bryce Harper if he misses the playoffs again, or Tatis if they don't make the playoffs. Just because you hit a bunch of home runs doesn't mean you should be MVP. Case in point with, I still think Devin Booker should get MVP love for the NBA.
Yeah, Draymond Green thinks he should be the MVP. So
I concur with Draymond.
Can I give you a little just a quick couple of stats here, because I've been doing a top 5 list for the past couple of days leading up to opening day, and I just want to give you a quick rundown here because I think there are a lot of young players in Major League Baseball, young up and coming players, names that you should know, Derek.
Stevie Dicks, by all means, sir.
Thank you. I hate you so much.
Just like the white-winged dove.
I'm not going to get
the song that keeps on singing.
I know, right? Never break the chain.
Yeah, Stevie.
But the top 5 guys.
She's so much better live than she's on the album. Okay, I'm sorry.
Shut up. The top 5 young players to watch that are going to play a full 162 games. This is the criteria. They have to start on opening day, and they're going to have to play the full 162, or at least be on track to play the full 162, meaning they start on opening day. Now, Joey Bart was my number 5 because Joey Bart hasn't had a full 162-game season. He played in the 2020 year, but I'm not counting that. That was 60 games. Buster Posey opted out, and Joey Bart was forced into that position. So I'm not going to count it. He's the one that I'm most looking forward to watching with the Giants, because I think actually more than any of these other guys, there's some pressure on him because they're going to need some power from the right-handed batter's box, and Joey Bart's going to be one of those guys that needs to provide that. So that's number 5. Number 4 on this list, Julio Rodriguez, J-Rod, the number 3 overall prospect from the Seattle Mariners, 21 years old, made the opening day roster. He hit .419 in this spring, had a 1.3 OPS. I think he had 3 home runs. He is going to be awesome. They've been wanting to call him up. They've been waiting for a while now. So Julio Rodriguez, with the Seattle Mariners. Number 3, Spencer Torkelson. Torkelson from the Lions. I think he was the number 2 overall prospect. He was fantastic, or the number 4. I can't remember which one. But he's supposed to be great. Big first baseman. I think he's going to be a big name that you're going to want to get to know on the Tigers when they are good. Not this year, but in the next 2 years or so. Torkelson is going to be a household name in Detroit. That's number 3. Number 2, this dude, Hunter Green. Hunter Green. Get to know that name, Derek. Remember that. Say the name.
Hunter Green.
Hunter Green, 22 years old, but he was dubbed the LeBron James of Major League Baseball because the dude was drafted out of high school. He was on the cover of Sports Illustrated when he was in high school.
And he won a Razzie.
He pitched in the Futures game. He pitched in the Futures game in 2018. I think the Futures game actually does not get nearly enough notoriety as it should because the Futures game during All-Star break. Do you even know what that is?
I do know what the Futures game is.
Then there you go. Well, there you. It doesn't really back up my point. Damn you, Derek. But he's been the top overall prospect for the while. He's only the 22nd prospect in the league, but this dude was pitching 103 miles an hour when he was 18 years old. Now we get to see him when he's 22, which is wild. So Hunter Green, he's going to be making his first start on Sunday against the Braves. Number 1, simply Bobby Witt Jr. Bobby Witt Jr. from the Kansas City Royals just got called up to their opening day roster. He's the next Mike Trout. Like, his swing is exactly like Mike Trout's. Go and take a look at it if you haven't already. Killing it in spring training. The number 1 overall prospect in baseball. I can't wait to see him with the Royals. So if the Royals are ever playing and I'm not seeing a game that I'm interested in watching, I'll turn on some Royals games when Bobby Witt's about to hit and watch this dude. He's going to be awesome.
Well, let's look out for Bobby Lean-Witted, Rock-Witted.
And I got one more. Top 5 if you want.
Go for it, Stevie.
Now, just tell me if you're interested or not. Just tell me yes or no if you're into this. These are the top 5 milestones that can be reached this season from certain players.
I'm into it. Lay it on me.
Number 5. Are you interested? Can I interest you in Robinson Cano reaching 600 doubles this year?
Nah, that gives me some kind of wiggle.
He's at 571 right now. He needs 19 to do it. He can hit 20 to 30 in any given year if he remains healthy or he lays off the juice. So Robinson Cano.
Lay off the juice, Robbie.
Could be reaching 600 doubles. 19th player to do so in baseball history. So shout out to him. And there's going to be another player reaching 600 doubles that I'll get to. But that's number 5. My 4th one. Can I interest you in Anthony Rizzo being hit by a pitch for the 200th time?
Sure.
He's 22 away. He gets hit an average of 21 per year if you really take it into account. And the thing that got me is, like, Anthony Rizzo is one of the most likable players in baseball. How can you hit this guy with a pitch?
I know.
It's just wild. I guess it's because of the longevity, but 200 times hit by a pitch doesn't happen all that often in baseball. And he's like the 28th player to do it or something.
Did you like Rizzo as a Muppet?
Yes.
Okay,
yeah.
Good.
Yeah. Rizzo and the Rat, right?
Rizzo was the Rat.
Rizzo is the Rat. Who's the blue guy?
That's fucking oh god. Oh, Jesus. I'm so mad at myself. Keep talking. I'll figure out who the fucking blue guy is from the Muppets.
I love
I'm so
that
mad.
They were the ones breaking the fourth wall, bringing you into the Muppet world to make you a part of it. So shout out to those two guys. Hurry, Rizzo! I'm going as fast as I can.
They did it a lot in Muppet Treasure Island.
I remember
it was a kids movie.
I remember the Treasure Island commercial for, like, on the VHS.
Yes.
Every time they'd show it, they'd always show that thing where they're like spinning the wheel and you'd hear, "Hurry, Rizzo! I'm going as fast as I can," even though his feet can't reach the ground.
That's perfect. That's perfect.
Can I interest you? This is number 3. Can I interest you in Max Scherzer possibly becoming 12th all-time in career strikeouts?
Gonzo. Yeah. God damn it.
Gonzo, that's right.
Okay, sorry.
But if Scherzer gets 173 strikeouts this year, that moves him to 12th all-time, right behind guys like Phil Niekro and Greg Maddux, and, you know, obviously Nolan Ryan takes that top spot. But it's kind of crazy, man, to think that out of all guys, Scherzer 12th all-time in strikeouts. Verlander's 7 behind him in career total strikeouts, actually. But Scherzer's like way more of a, you know, Ks per 9 innings. He's always leading the league in that category. And I don't know if Verlander's going to be the same after the injury, but 173 strikeouts, pretty impressive. Also going to reach 200 wins too this year. Can I interest you in all these milestones that Albert Pujols is going to reach by the end of this year? And he still has another year left on his deal, so he's going to get even higher than this. But can I interest you in Albert Pujols milestones here?
You can always interest me with some poo.
12th in runs, 10th in hits, 6th in at-bats and plate appearances, 5th in doubles, home runs, and games played. He needs to play 64 in order to reach 3,000 games played, which is wild. 3rd in extra base hits, total bases, and RBIs all time in Major League Baseball history. And he doesn't even need to have that good of a season in order to do it. So
All right.
there you go. I mean, that's wild. And number 1, Miguel Cabrera. Miguel Cabrera is going to reach 3,000 hits this year. He's 13 to do it. He's also going to reach 600 doubles. He only needs 3 to do so. So there's a chance by the end of this year that he could be 24th all-time in hits, just above Ichiro. He has a very real chance of catching Ichiro in all-time hits, although a lot of Ichiro's numbers, they were in major leagues, but a lot of them were also in the Japanese league too. So really, technically, he has like over 4,000 professional hits, like more than Pete Rose in total. But we're only counting major leagues here. But once he reaches 600 doubles, he only needs 3 to do it, but he can pass Hank Aaron on the all-time doubles list. And the reason that I say Hank Aaron is because he'd be the only player other than Hank Aaron to hit 500 home runs, 600 doubles, have 3,000 hits, and a career batting average of 300. So Miguel Cabrera, historic numbers coming up here with the Tigers, along with the Torquemeister, the Torquinator.
Who?
Torkelson, Spencer Torkelson.
Oh, gotcha.
Number 3 on my list of top prospects.
Yeah.
Put a Tork in it, Derek.
Well done. And that is Stevie Dick's top 5. Well done, sir. Well done.
Stevie Dick's top 5 kind of has a nice ring to it. I ain't gonna lie.
See? Yeah, it's growing on you.
Stevie Dix
is growing on you. You like that?
Can we move on, please?
All right.
Can we move on?
Sorry, I was just doing my best Matt Steinmetz impression.
I did I took like 10 minutes on that. I apologize to all the podcast listeners, but hey, I did a lot of research here.
Regardless, we're talking about baseball the whole podcast. This is going to be one of our lowest rated ones. So let's move on then. So the Warriors and Lakers going to play in a game tomorrow, and I'll be at the game. No Steph Curry, but he did a fantastic interview today with Steiny and Guru, where he refuted LeBron James' thing. As just, I want to play with Steph, and he's like, keep dreaming. But and then we move over to the Lakers, and the Lakers, thank God, have been eliminated from the playoffs. Not even the fucking play-in tournament. They're not going to anything. They're just going home. And it's just funny that one franchise, despite the fact that the Lakers have won a championship 2 years ago, they look like they are in disarray. And I love all of the funny videos that people have made today in relation to winning time with losing time. It's hilarious. I think that they're probably going to blow the whole team up if LeBron James stays. I think at this point, I don't think he wants to go anywhere in his career. His family's in LA. He's not going to move again. He could talk about he wants to play with Bronny, but I find that hard to believe if Bronny's going to be drafted by like the Orlando Magic.
I think that's just a way to get his son drafted.
Yeah, that's
it's just hey, I'm going to go wherever my son goes. Okay, well, we'll draft your son. Come over here.
Yeah. But it's just funny how the Warriors, we don't know how this season's going to play out, but it's playing out a hell of a lot better than the Lakers. And I feel stupid now when we did our NBA picks, and I was like, I can't believe I'm buying into the hype. Because I really wanted to take the Warriors to play the Nets in the finals, but I chickened out and picked the Lakers and Nets just because, for whatever reason, I thought LeBron was going to carry them. And in the end, it was a utter failure. And I don't even know if LeBron's going to play tomorrow. With them being out of it, I would assume so. The Russell Westbrook edition was atrocious. They're probably going to fire Frank Vogel 2 years after winning a championship. Anthony Davis was their big acquisition, and they may trade him now. And the Warriors, we'll see what happens with Steph. Worst case scenario, they'll be the 4th seed. And I think that's pretty good given everything that's gone on. So, Steven, just your thoughts on the optimism of what could happen with this Warrior season and the utter failure that was the Lakers season.
Well, I'm going to bring up something that I saw on the NBA Reddit earlier. And this made me laugh. This made me chuckle, but this is just us as a society. We love to make fun of teams that suck. We love to do that, especially if it's the Lakers. If it's a collapse like they had when there was all the publicity around it, and we don't give a damn that the team that they lost to go out of the play-in, we don't give a damn that was the Suns game, the Suns win to set the franchise record in regular season wins. I think they have 63 now, which is the Suns franchise record. When you're talking about the 7 seconds or less Phoenix Suns with Steve Nash and Sean Marion, I think Grant Hill was on that team too. I believe he was.
Yeah, for a brief time. Yeah.
But you talk about the Charles Barkley led Suns along with what's my man from the he wasn't a key player in it, but what was my man from the Celtics? What's his name? Assets guy, GM. Why am I blanking on his name right now?
Danny Ainge.
Danny Ainge. Shout out to him in Space Jam. Had a very good cameo. Trying to get Charles Barkley the ball. Watch Space Jam again. You'll see Danny Ainge in it. He's like, "Come on, man, you're killing us." But Space Jam knowledge. But we focus so much on the losers, and we love to make fun of them. We're not celebrating the fact that the Suns just set a franchise.
No, I mean,
for wins.
No, I mean, yes, I am.
I didn't see any of that anywhere.
No, that's fair. That's totally fair. And congrats to the Suns. If the Warriors don't end up winning this season, I'll root for them. But it's just because the Lakers are so fucking cocky.
For sure.
And their fucking fans are so cocky. And it was all created. Like we're watching it, right now with Winning Time and Jerry Buss and the creation of Showtime. And they still think they are that, but they're not.
Yeah. And I will say it is funny that that they're the worst team post All-Star break since the 06-07 Timberwolves. They only won 7 games in 06-07 post All-Star break. I think they were 7-21. Now, granted, I think you need to reach 6 more games now in order to reach 30. They only have 3 left. So you'd need, you have quite a few more to play around with, but man, you're looking at the way that they were going with the injuries and them mounting up. They would have been the worst team post All-Star break anyway. In the next 3 games, they got to play as you said, the Warriors, then they got the Nuggets, then they got the Thunder. So they could beat the Thunder. The Thunder rolled out one of the worst starting 5s I think I've ever seen in my life. But we're just so quick to make fun of the Lakers. I find that funny. It's just like, nah, who cares about the Suns? But the Warriors, man, I'm looking forward to it. I don't know. I don't know what else to say, really. What else is there more to say? Like, once Steph is coming back, you know, these next 3 games, they're crucial. But, at this point, I think we all just want playoffs to start. Bring on the Jazz, bring on the Nuggets, whoever it is.
Yeah. I don't know what seed they'll end up being. Either it'll be the 3 or the 4. I like our chances tomorrow night to beat the Lakers. After that, we're playing the 2 play-in teams. I don't know how much. I mean, is there that much difference in positioning between the Spurs and the Pelicans? Probably not. So I don't know if they have a lot to play for either. I don't know what our chances are to get the 3 seed or the 4 seed at this point. All I know is I'm glad that we're going to have home playoff games. It's going to be fun. It's a big difference than last year when we got knocked out in the play-in tournament. So anything can happen when Steph comes back. So I think that we have a lot to look forward to with the Warriors.
Yeah, right now the Pelicans and the Spurs are 1 game apart, but it doesn't make a difference because you're still just going to be the 9th or the 10th seed. Whether you're 9th or the 10th seed, it doesn't matter. You're still going to have to play.
So maybe they rest, and there's no chance of Zion coming back at this point, huh?
No chance. So yeah, I mean, there's no incentive at all. They're really gearing up to play.
So maybe we do get the 3 seed.
Yeah, no, I'm seeing that as a real possibility. And the thing that I like about that is if you're the 3 seed and you win in that first round, that means you're getting the next series against the Grizzlies, which is going to be a tough matchup, but that's going to be one. I think that series is going to start to get chippy. Like that's one that I'm really looking forward to.
I will say there's a big difference, as you just said, between the 3 and the 4 seed, whether or not you're playing the Grizzlies the next round or you're playing the Suns the next round. And both are going to be a dogfight. But I would rather play the Grizzlies first off than play the Suns right away.
No, yeah, no doubt.
If we advance.
Which I think enough, man, I think the Warriors, I mean, we showed you those stats, whatever it was, last week after they played the Suns.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they guard Devin Booker really well. They match up really well against them. I think Draymond, when he's cocky, he can get into DeAndre Ayton's head. But the Suns are a scary team. Like, regardless, they're a scary team.
They are, Stevie D. But I think that they match up well with anybody. And a year ago, we saw the Milwaukee Bucks win the championship as a 3 seed. So if the Warriors are a 3 seed, even if they're a 4 seed, I still like their chances. So we'll see where it
Why
goes.
did I decide to do a podcast with you?
Because I'm funny. So
you you also started the damn Nice Guy Steven nickname, didn't you?
no, Jacob did.
Oh, Jacob. That's right.
Jake-
Because I'd always take his shifts just so he could, go out the night before.
I gave you yeah. That's how he talks. I gave you the dickbag Steven one because just one day out of character you just like snapped at me and I was like, Jesus, where's this coming from, dickbag?
Yeah. Someone, dude, it happened in the studio the other day, and I was just in a bad mood. I, made a mistake. It was on me. I wasn't mad at anybody else.
Right.
And then, yeah, I was just mad. And then I, said something. I didn't snap at anybody, but like, someone tried to joke with me, and I just wasn't having it. I was just like,
yeah,
cool. And I walked back, and I walked like,
that's what you do.
I walked to the back, and then I overheard him like, Jesus, it's like seeing, it's like you ever seen those child you've never seen like mad before? Like, I forgot what they said, but it was pretty funny. I went back and I smirked a little bit. It's like, Jesus, I've never seen him mad.
Steven, we are at an all-time high for receivers in the NFL getting massive contracts. Today, Stephon Diggs, his contract wasn't up for another 2 seasons, but he gets a 4-year, $96 million extension, $70 million guaranteed. And this is after Devontae Adams gets traded to the Raiders. The Packers didn't want to pay him. Or, you know what? Actually, they did, but he just wanted to go. And he gets 5 years, 140, 65 guaranteed. And then Tyreek Hill gets 4 years, 120, 72 guaranteed from the Dolphins. So this is starting to start a trend where we start seeing free agent wide receivers a year from now, the likes of DK Metcalf, A.J. Brown, Terry McLaurin, and Deebo Samuel all in the mix for contracts. However, they're also a part of trade speculation. But I think the Titans are on record saying we're not trading A.J. Brown. Haven't heard anything about the Washington Commanders saying anything about Terry McLaurin. I'm pretty sure the 49ers do not want to trade Deebo. And then there's mixed things about DK Metcalf. The Seahawks are toning out their company line saying we don't intend to trade DK Metcalf. And there was a bogus report today that the Jets offered the 10th overall pick for DK. I've heard that's not true. So, Steven, amongst the bunch, the 4 that I said, including Deebo, who obviously plays for the 49ers, who would you be more inclined to give a big, fat, massive contract to or trade away?
This is a tough one, man. And you listed A.J. Brown there, right?
I did. A.J. Brown, Terry McLaurin, Deebo, DK.
Yeah. Well, first off, when it comes to like the market and stuff, like when it comes to, what does this mean for their contracts? Whether it's Deebo or A.J. Brown, those guys have the exact same agents. So I'm waiting till one of those guys gets signed to really like make an opinion on what the money's going to look like. Cause I got to do that. I'm on radio. You know what I mean? I got to do that.
Stevie Dix, baby, got to talk for a living.
No, who would I rather? God, man, that's really tough.
Can I give you my answer?
I didn't expect this. I thought we were just going to talk about the contract. I didn't expect this question to come up. If I had to get,
I'll give you my answer.
Okay,
I would pay, out of all of them, I would pay DK Metcalf because he is physical. Got to get a little bit of diet going on. But I think that, have Terrell Owens. And by the way, T.O., you're fucking insane, man. He's coming out of retirement to play in the fan control league, and he still thinks he can play in the NFL. Good luck, man. Have fun catching passes from Johnny Manziel. I respect it at your age that you want to go play football still, but you can do so many other things. But if
Whatever.
I was going to,
that guy's gonna have a 6-pack till he's in his grave. So
I know.
I mean, this dude, I don't doubt Terrell Owens on anything. Terrell Owens, excuse me, not Terrell. Terrell.
Well, I doubt he can still play in the NFL.
That's fair.
Yeah, come on. It's been a solid 10 years.
Yeah.
He was cut in Seahawks training camp 10 years ago. DK Metcalf, I think, is the closest thing I've seen to Terrell Owens, just being the physical specimen he is, just a deep receiver, chasing down Buda Baker on a interception. But here's the thing: I don't know if the Seahawks are going to pay him that contract because what's the point if your team is in a rebuild? And I don't even know if it's in a rebuild. We still don't know if they're going to get Baker Mayfield or not. I think a lot of questions will be answered come draft time. But I would say amongst the bunch of these guys, the most likely to get the contract and still be on their same team will be A.J. Brown and Deebo Samuel. I don't know how much you pay A.J. Brown. I wouldn't give him anything close to these guys. I think Stephon Diggs, Devontae Adams, and Tyreek Hill have all proven themselves. All these guys are younger, but A.J. Brown hasn't put up an all-pro season yet where I give him a massive contract. DK Metcalf, I don't know if I would give him the same amount of money, but he has the potential to be like these guys. But I would, if you're the Seahawks and the Chiefs or the Packers are calling you saying, we'll give you a first-round pick for this guy, then you're going to be like, well, shit, are we really going to win this year? Are we okay with just Tyler Lockett and Eskin, whoever the hell the receiver they drafted a year ago? I think DK Metcalf's most likely to be traded, but I think out of all these guys, I think he's the more explosive receiver to get a big-time contract. However, Deebo Samuel is such a Swiss Army knife that I do think he's going to get a good contract. But I also don't think that the Niners are going to pay him the same amount of money that these other, receivers are going to get. Right. And I don't think we're going to see Deebo play a lot of running back anymore because I'm pretty sure his agent's going to be like, his body can't take these hits anymore. He's got to play receiver.
Yeah, this dude was limping in Lambeau, and he was limping against
LA. In Lambeau.
like you're not. Yeah, I agree with you there. That's the thing. Like I really want to choose Deebo because he's one of my favorite football players in the league, man. And maybe it's because I had to watch him week after week after week, but my God, I saw him elevate his team, that run game, along with Jeff Wilson Jr. But I saw when Jeff Wilson Jr. came in at the end of the season. But I saw him elevate that run game and take it to a new level. So, man, it's really tough. Terry McLaurin's another one where that dude
underrated.
He's kind of like he's almost like I'm not saying he is this guy, but he's almost like the Allen Robinson where he hasn't played like really with he makes all these incredible catches, but he hasn't played with like a top-notch quarterback yet, and you wonder what he can do there. Mm-hmm. So personally, I hope that he gets traded just so we can go somewhere that actually has like a capable quarterback. He didn't play with Kirk, right? Not when Kirk was back with Washington. No. He was drafted in 2019, so no.
No, but he's playing with Commander Carson now.
Playing with Commander Carson, so you never know. I mean, you could pay that guy, and A.J. Brown is damn good.
Yeah, he is.
Man, this is a tough question.
Isn't it crazy that both of those guys, they were there? Was A.J. Brown a first-round pick or a second-round pick? I think he was a second-round pick.
He was a first round.
Was he first round?
I mean,
DK went second.
Yeah.
It's crazy that both those guys were on Ole Miss. And
no, you're right. He was a second-round pick. It was 51st overall.
Yeah. So both of those guys were second-round picks, and this is a wide receiver heavy draft. And by the way, I've been put on Path to the Draft at NFL Network. So I've been boning up on the draft, my friend. We'll start getting into gear here, talking about draft stuff.
Yeah, that's all you.
You're not interested at all?
Once the Raiders traded their first-round picks away, I'm like, okay, whatever. Pick whoever you want.
Well, no first-round pick for the Raiders, no first-round pick for the 49ers. But I've been scouting these guys, and I'm impressed with some of these pass rushers, and I like the receivers in this draft too. But we got weeks and weeks for that.
Give me a quick little thing here, because this is a guy I was hoping the Raiders would have drafted if they would have kept that 22nd pick.
Nakobe Dean.
Yeah, why is he falling? I'm seeing some stuff that he's falling in mock drafts here as they're coming about. Why is he falling?
With anything with mock drafts, if you do enough of them, you'll start to question whether or not these guys are going to be good or not. And I honestly, I'll just say this now. I was going to say it for another podcast, but I'll just say it now. I have no idea why people are hating on Kayvon Thibodeau. This guy looks like a monster, and he's the closest thing I've seen to Mario Williams and Jadeveon Clowney. Now, I hear the knock on him is that he doesn't try very hard. And that, I will say that I don't know if that's true or not. I'm just watching his highlights, and it looks like he is just a force, like Javon Curse, like just going after the ball every single time. But it may not be that he's doing it every single time he takes off plays. So while it is reminiscent of Jadeveon Clowney and how of a physical specimen he is, and like, damn, of course he's going to be the first overall pick. He has all the talent in the world. This is the first time where I've seen scouts question whether or not a guy is really trying hard. So he may drop a little bit. If I were the Jacksonville Jaguars, I would take him first overall ahead of Aiden Hutchinson. But Nakobe Dean, I just think that people like Devin Lloyd better, the linebacker from Utah. And not that Nakobe Dean's bad or anything. It's just that between the two, people like Devin Lloyd a little bit better.
Right. Okay. Well, and I agree. Kayvon's a beast. Like the only college team I really watch is Oregon, and that's because of my best friend Tyler. So shout out to Tyler. Just to keep up with him and text him during games and stuff. So I enjoy that. But whenever I think I was watching the game actually where Kayvon got hurt. It was a sad game that game. But to answer the original question, I'd be hesitant to sign DK just because he strikes me as the only wide receiver out of those four that we're talking about that would be legitimately pissed if he didn't get the ball and he would just give up toward the end of the year. Diva tendencies, as we like to call them. So I could see that happening with DK. I'd be hesitant. I think my number one guy would be AJ Brown. I think AJ Brown's such a beast, and I think he's only going to get bigger. Him and Debo are damn near the same height and weight. They're almost identical in that sense. I think AJ Brown's like an inch taller. I think he's like 6'1", 215. Debo's 6 foot 215. They're completely different players. But I think I'd pay AJ Brown out of all of them if I had to pick one.
Real quick, if you were going to trade for DK Metcalf, and I'm with you, Steven, that he may be. I mean, I remember one playoff game against the Rams. He was kind of getting pissy with Russell Wilson. And he wasn't getting the ball, but Jalen Ramsey was doing a great job on him. If you were going to trade for DK Metcalf, what would you give up?
Well, I think
sorry, just at the moment, it sounds as if, yes, it's not fair that we're labeling DK Metcalf as a diva, even though he has shown diva-like tendencies at times, but he is a dominant player, and I would love to have him on any team. But it sounds as if he wants to stay in Seattle, and he's toeing the company line, just being Drew Lock, he's the guy. But if you're able to get a first-round pick or a first and a second, like the Devontae Adams trade, I think the Seahawks would be willing to pull that trigger.
I don't know if I would.
For a first and a second?
Yeah, I don't know if I'd be willing to give up a first and a second for him.
That's fair.
I mean, maybe 2 2s for sure, no doubt. And maybe a depth piece along with it.
If you're the Green Bay Packers or the Kansas City Chiefs, well, real quick, if the Chiefs got DK Metcalf, would they be back in the driver's seat as the best team in the AFC West?
They'd be up there for sure. Yeah.
Yeah. I think that both of those teams are in need of a wide receiver, and both of those teams have 2 first-round picks. So I think something's going to happen, whether it's DK Metcalf or, I saw today on Good Morning Football, and he doesn't just toss up shit just to throw it against the wall. Peter Schrager is thinking that Keenan Allen is up for grabs for the Green Bay Packers to trade for.
Wow.
And there's also Brandon Cooks, who is in the final year of his contract, and same situation with DK Metcalf. Great player. I don't think he wants to go through a rebuild too and keep playing with Davis Mills.
Yeah.
So I think that not only the Chiefs and the Packers not only draft a wide receiver come Thursday night, April 30th in the first round, they may also trade for a huge one.
Yeah. No, that very well could happen. And I think the Chiefs are trying to get it done. I wonder how much Seattle would want to try and get for him, though. Man, that's tough. That's tough. I don't know. A first, second, and a fourth for Tyreek. I don't know if I'd be willing to give that up for DK.
In hindsight, doesn't it feel like the Raiders got off cheap just trading a first and a second for Devontae?
100%.
Yeah.
100%. The thing is, they just had to pay him all that money. But
yeah, I mean, it's almost like, the fact that Gutekunst and teams like the Chiefs just kind of value the picks more than the contracts.
And don't get me wrong, as a fan, I think it's total BS when people try to say like, oh, but what about the salary cap in the future? You're paying him too much money. Yeah, that makes sense if you're paying for a guy that's maybe like, on the other side of 30. But when you're getting somebody who is in their prime, you pay him whatever and you figure it out from there. Like you get that player, you're happy that he's on that team. I don't worry about the contracts in the future. It's like with the 49ers. That's what I was saying this morning. Like with Stephon Diggs, which is crazy. He's my age, by the way. I think he's like 3 months younger than I am. He's 28 years old. He was born in November. So shout out to the 93 babies out there. But it's
93 till infinity.
I know he's 28, but Stephon Diggs and Josh Allen have shown to be one of, if not the best quarterback wide receiver tandems in the league. At least their connection. It's just they're like in lockstep with each other, even only after 2 seasons. So you're happy that he's there. Like, who cares about the money? It's the same thing with Deebo Samuel. Whenever the Niners sign Deebo Samuel, whatever that is, you feel it's an overpay, fine. But you at least got Deebo Samuel on your team. And you could say, oh, well, I'm worried about the injuries. Well, that's not a good way to go into the season, is it? That's not really fair to Deebo. Just say, oh, I think he's going to get injured, so I don't like the contract. Like, come on. So, either way, man, just pay all of them. Pay all of them if you have them on your team. And please, God, DK, don't come to the Chiefs. I don't need that.
It might happen. It might happen. And
God,
to your point,
wild.
Yeah, it will be wild, and I want to put it past them. I also think the Packers got to make a move here because Aaron Rodgers can't be happy that Devontae Adams is gone, so they got to trade for another big-time receiver.
Hey, man, he's immunized. It's all good.
But to your point about the cap, if we've learned anything from Les Snead, the cap is just like birds, not real.
You're not real, man.
Are we all not real?
Are we real?
I'll tell you what's like unreal. Tiger Woods.
Yes.
Got into a car crash February 23rd last year. We all thought he was dead. He was in his SUV driving around a windy road not too far from here in LA, and the car landed on top of him. And the medical term, I think I remember correctly, was the jaws of life.
Jaws of life.
Had to be he had to be removed with the jaws of life to get out of the car. We don't know if he was going to walk again. We don't know if he was going to live again. We damn well were not expecting him to play golf again. Sure enough, the guy's playing golf this weekend at the Masters. Not a big golf guy. You a big golf? Well, you play golf, Steven, but do you like watching it?
I watch the 4 majors. I don't really watch like the PGA Tour so much. I feel like, but with the 4 majors though, there's something special around it. So I do enjoy the Masters. I enjoy the U.S. Open. I enjoy the Open Championship. I enjoy those. But other than that, I'm not going to consider myself a huge golf fan. Although if you if I walk down the street and you told me like, oh, that's a golfer and they're walking in their golf attire, I'd recognize who they are. So I know some of the athletes.
All right. So just regardless of what happens, because I think the pinnacle of Tiger Woods' career was 2019, where he came back, won Masters, the beautiful moment with his son. He has nothing left to prove. It's just kind of like, fuck it. I'm back.
It's 2 completely different things. Like that last one, that was getting that win to kind of reestablish his image, because not a lot of people were looking at him in the same way. And I could be wrong about that. Because I think he'd won
mainstream society.
Yeah, but it's just like, oh my God, he won the Masters again, and seeing the draw that he had. 2019 was but this is coming from a like a life-altering accident, one that not a lot of people would do. And it's just coming from that will to win, man. So there's something special about it. I'm not expecting him to win. If he makes the cut, I'm good, man. If he's playing on Saturday and Sunday, like that's all I think we can really, really ask for and commend him for it. I was thinking about this, man. His life is it's kind of like the Marvel movie series. Like it starts out, in 1997.
Just way too long and too many of them.
It's 1997. He wins it at 21 years old. And oh, this is going to turn into something. It was kind of like Iron Man. You watch it, you're just like, oh, this is going to turn into something. This is really going to, this series is going to take off. And you get all these other movies and all these, and it's the same thing with Tiger Woods. You got all these other championship wins.
It could have been more if they kept Jeff Bridges. Sorry.
And then toward the end, nice.
Or Terrence Howard. Anyway, sorry.
And then toward the end, it's like when you think his career is done, or when you think it's over, or when you think like, oh, he's won enough, nothing else is going to happen. He's just going to play golf and ride into the sunset. oh, but the post credits, something is going on with him and his wife, and you're just sticking around. It's like, whoa, what's happening here? And you want to watch the next one, and you want to keep up with whatever his next move is, even though it's as bad as it's ever been for Tiger, and it's just being in the public image. And really, I mean, who am I to say like how terrible it was what he did? Like we've seen a lot worse from other athletes. This one was just publicized, but because it's Tiger Woods and because it's the game of golf. But it just feels like every single thing in his career, just toward the end, post credits, oh, there's something new. Let's see what happens now. And the most recent post credit was a car crash. So now we're seeing this next movie take place. Starts with the Masters. What's going to happen after that? It really it's all culminated into it. What's funny, man, is I was thinking about it because Saturday you got Formula One, Australian Grand Prix. Only reason that any of us care, at least us in America, is because of Drive to Survive, the Netflix show that got everyone caught on.
Mm-hmm.
Like, even when you had a champion in Lewis Hamilton, who was going to be the possible world championship record holder, at least tying the record for the most world championships ever with 7, nobody batted an eye. Nobody batted an eye. Not until Drive to Survive came out. Then we started to learn about Lewis Hamilton a little bit. Then we started becoming in favor of all these other drivers and all that crap. Tiger Woods with himself, he's the draw. Like, golf is going to have that type of TV show, that type of documentary. They're already reported it. The PGA is going to put on a Drive to Survive type of thing. So I think fans are going to be really into golf, but all they need is Tiger. All they need is Tiger. They don't need a documentary. Tiger's going to get people into the sport and get people to watch. Like, that's how much of a draw he is. He is the sport. So the fact that he's coming back for the Masters, it's so commendable. And I've been watching his practice rounds all damn week. Like, they've been on in the morning, live from the Masters, put on CBS Sports Network. They got the practice. I was watching Tiger Woods practice, man. Watching him chip.
Practice.
Oh, nothing better than that. Talking about practice, man.
I'm not a big golf guy. I don't watch a lot, but I do love hearing Jim Nantz just, hello, friends.
Hello, friends.
We're here at the majestic pond.
Yes, we are
Birds
here.
chirping.
We are here at the whatever cabin we call it. I forgot what the cabin's called, but we are here in the cabin.
And we're nestled
live with Tiger
safely,
Woods.
snug, warmly. And we are here to watch Tiger Woods fuck shit up.
A tradition
at the Masters.
A tradition unlike any other. I can't think of any more ad libs to say as we go on with this comedic bit.
Yeah, I will say that, I back in the day, I would make fun of Tiger Woods a lot, especially the, hey, my wife went through my phone. Oh, God.
Oh, we still play that drop. Hey, it's Tiger.
Hey,
I need you to do me a huge favor.
My wife found my phone. And, I thought it was ridiculous. Everybody was feeling sorry for him for the cheating on his wife and everything. I was like, oh, whatever, it's his, whatever. It's, I don't feel sorry for him. Then I watched a documentary that HBO came out with, and seeing, what he went through as a kid and his dad being kind of overbearing, I understand it a little bit now. So
he's one of those guys that didn't have a childhood.
Exactly. And a lot of people, when they have documentaries made about them, they don't want to be a part of it and be like, no, I want to tell my side of the story. I commend Tiger Woods. That documentary at times was scathing towards him, and he was at the very end, he's in it. And I think that he's just the best at what he does. And it's always interesting when he, is golfing. The whole world takes, time to watch him. And it's just incredible that for probably a good 30 minutes a year ago, we all thought he was dead. And now he's coming back to play the Masters. So whatever happens. And I just think that it's amazing that he's able to come back from this and play in golf game.
I'm still trying to get him on Black Hole Sundays, the Raider podcast that I still do. The Raider fan.
He's a big time Raider fan. Huge Raider fan.
Trying to get him on.
Well, good luck with that.
Still unsuccessful.
You know what? If you just talk strictly Raiders, he'd probably be into it.
Yeah, I know. People really are, man. That's how I got Logan Webb on the pod. I just said, hey, man, we're going to talk Raiders. And then, unfortunately, Buster Posey retired like 20 minutes before the podcast came out.
You got to ask about that, yeah.
So I had to ask him about it toward the end. But we asked him about Raiders, and he was happy to talk about it. So I want to do the same with Tiger, along with a lot of other Raider fans out there.
Yeah, you could have Jessica Alba on. She's a big Raider fan.
Oh, nice. Yeah, we'll talk, Raiders and
Spy Kids 4.
Doesn't she do doesn't she have like a cooking program or something like that? I don't know, whatever.
No,
She's doing
that's
something.
Selena Gomez. Does she have a
I
there's a
don't
show
know.
on HBO Max where she cooks, I think.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I'll check that out.
You also get George Lopez. Remember George giving us shots at old Pick
What a
Six?
time. What a time. What a time.
I got super drunk and said, "George, you're my favorite Lopez. Jennifer doesn't even count. It's you."
You didn't say that, did you?
I did.
Really?
And he made the comment, "Oh, it's not the first time I heard that."
Oh, good Lord.
But he also said, "I got this."
Yeah, thanks for the tequila and the plastic cups,
It wasn't
George.
tequila. He gave us vodka shots.
Really?
Yeah.
I was twisted that night. Damn.
I know. And that was a long night, too. That was when the Raiders lost to the Texans in the wild card round.
Ah, that's right.
Thanks
yeah,
to Connor Cook.
Yeah. Oh, what a time.
Let's end on this, Steven. Frank Gore officially retires. He's going to be a professional boxer. He lost to Darren Williams, right?
Yes.
But now he's going to do it for real, and he probably will be good at it. Old Frank.
Yeah,
the
he
Tank.
didn't technically count as a professional fight. So it
Yeah.
was with Gamebred Promotions, which is Jorge Masvidal's promotion. But now Masvidal is in a whole heap of trouble.
Oh, boy. Well, just yes or no, Frank Gore, Hall of Famer?
100%.
I agree, but definitely not a first ballot Hall of Famer.
Yeah, I don't think he'd be a first ballot. It's really hard to be a first ballot Hall of Famer, especially with the amount that you're going to have in the time. I mean, 5 years from now, I mean, shoot, I don't even know who's going to be on the ballot, but yeah.
When it comes to running backs now, that's a position that's been kind of downgraded in recent years in the NFL. I can't think of anybody that's going to be a first ballot Hall of Famer when it comes to running back anymore.
He is the first ballot most respected Hall of Fame, like in the NFL. Like that dude, there's nobody that has a bad thing to say about Frank Gore. They just really, nobody, not a single person. The only one that's not really celebrating it too well is the NFL social media page. They just gave him a quick couple of words and then a graphic that had him in a 49ers jersey in the background and him in a Jets in the Jets jersey in the foreground.
Okay, to be fair, while Frank Gore has accomplished a lot in his career, he's the third leading rusher of all time. Besides an 80-yard run against the Seahawks, what are memorable runs by Frank Gore?
That's the thing about him, though, is he didn't have memorable runs. That's what made him so special. It just, instead of just saying, hey, 2 ACL injuries later, what a career. Clap emoji. Did you not see the post you didn't see the post from NFL's Twitter?
I mean, it's
like, come
on. I'm sure I did, but what else did you want?
I don't know.
Maybe he hasn't played football in a year. He basically has been retired.
Yeah, true. Whatever.
Yeah. By the way, the NFL Network is doing boot camp for former NFL players to come in studio to learn how to be broadcasters. So I ran into today Richard Sherman, Torrey Holt, and Darren Waller. Darren Waller's there.
Nice.
Still playing, and he wants to get a leg up on his career.
Yeah. You good rapper, too.
Darren Waller?
Yeah, check him out.
They call him, what, does he have a rapper name, or just goes by Darren Waller?
Yeah, it's pretty crazy. You want to know what it is?
What is it?
Darren Waller.
Okay. By the way, Emmanuel Sanders, really good on Good Morning Football this week. Really good.
Yeah. The only clip that circulated within Bay Area media was his stuff on Jimmy Garoppolo.
No, he loves Jimmy. He loves himself some Jimmy.
Loves his leadership. There you go, Jimmy. Leadership, baby.
Yeah, the two things to come out about Jimmy Garoppolo this week are from Emmanuel Sanders giving him the full vote of confidence, and Greg Papa going on Haberman and Middlecoff to say, "I love Jimmy still on the team."
Didn't he also say he should go to the Browns, or don't sleep on him being traded to the Browns?
I think that's hard, but I agree with my pops. If Deshaun Watson is suspended a good deal of time, I think it's a smart move for the Browns to trade for Jimmy Garoppolo.
Yeah, no doubt. Good leader.
Yeah, good leader.
That's it.
I got a little story with Jimmy Garoppolo. Maybe I'll tell next time about being a good leader.
What a tease.
It's a tease, ladies and gentlemen, and we'll talk more draft, and we'll figure it out next time we do this podcast. But in between that time, Steven, I'll see you this weekend, my friend, face-to-face for the first time in a while.
Dude, it's great. This is going to be a great sports weekend. We got the Masters. We got opening day. Got Formula One, which is 10 p.m. on Saturday, the Australian Grand Prix. But right before that, UFC 273. This dude Hamzat Shemaev, he is the next up and coming guy. You want to know this crazy stat? Okay.
I got a
100
stat for you.
108 to 1. 108 to 1. That's how many significant strikes he's landed on opponents compared to significant strikes taken. He's gotten guys 108 times, whereas his opponents have only gotten him once. Like, that's insane. The dude doesn't get hit. He beats the crap out of these guys. So he's the next up and coming thing. If he gets this win, he's probably going to get a title shot next. And not only that, but you got two other fights too. You got Alexander Volkanovski versus one of my favorite nicknames ever, the Korean Zombie. The reason they call him that is because, well, he's from South Korea, and no matter how many shots he takes, he keeps coming at you, and he never goes down. And then you got Pyotr Yan versus Aljamain Sterling, the American versus the Russian. And the last time that they had a championship match, it ended in disqualification because Yan kneed this guy in the face when he wasn't supposed to. Even though Yan was beating the crap out of him, this guy took the championship. They really don't like each other. It's going to be a fantastic fight card. So we got a lot going on this sports weekend on top of the Masters.
I just want everybody to notice that I started that conversation off by saying, it's going to be good to see you this weekend, Steven. And he goes, yeah, there's going to be a lot of sports this weekend. It's going to be fantastic.
I'll see you for a night. I see you every week through webcam. It's the same thing.
Yeah, that's true.
But we're gonna have a good time. We're gonna go to the game. We'll meet up after, and then it's gonna be tough, man. Jesse and I gotta go to a concert after that. Because I got her some concert tickets. Her favorite artist is opening at the Fillmore. His name's Blake Rose. So we're gonna see that a few hours into our meeting. I think it starts at like 8. So
all right, we'll figure it out. We'll figure it out.
It's gonna be a very tough day for your boy. I'm not gonna have any rest. I'm gonna be on like 3 Red Bull.
Oh yeah, you won't have a nap or anything.
Nah,
gonna be a long day for old Stevie Dix.
I hate you.
Nah, well, I hate you too. And on that note, my friend Stevie Dix, say what you always say, my friend.
And that's just our opinion, man, Derek.